Uh, Welcome to my class in lesson. We are still on financial mathematics. Yeah, and I have a question here. Basically, we on financial maths, there are a couple of questions that we can be asked. So here I've got a question number 8. I want us to look at the whole question, which is 60 marks, and end up finding all the possible solutions that we can get, and also be able to understand how each answer were brought about. Now, we have question number 8.1, where it says calculate the effective interest rate per annum if an investment earn 9.5% interest per annum compounded monthly. So first thing is that we need to highlight the key things here. We need to calculate the effective interest rate. So, but this effective interest rate is compounded monthly, and the interest and is 9.5%. This is compounded per annum. Like if you check, is per annum compounded monthly. It means that in 1 year, how many times in 1 year per annum in 1 year? 12 times in 1 year, because we have got 12 months in 1 year. So now we need a formula for effective interest. So most of the questions study effective interest. Adina the value of money. We are only looking for the interest rate or the rate. In this case, in order for us to answer 8.1, we need a formula for the interest rate, which says 1 plus I effective equals 1 plus I nominal over M, all to the power of M. Now, here is our formula, but now, what we need to know is that this compounded monthly, this one, is the value of M. Because it is compounded monthly, it means that the value of M is going to be 12. Now, we are looking for the effective interest rate, not interest, but interest rate. It means that we are looking for R effective. And this 9.5% is our R nominal. Now, when you go to the formula, it means that we are going to have 1 plus I effective. Remember, I said that this, we are looking for R effective, not I effective, which is equals to 1 plus, how much is our I nominal? Now, we also need to take note that I is equals to R over 100 multiplied by M. This is the value of I. So now we are going to write 9.5. Because it's in percentage, we say divided by 100 multiplied by M. How much is our M? Our M is 12. But M there also says 12. So now from this, we can simply say that we have I effective is equals to 1 plus 9.5 over 100 multiplied by 12 to the power of 12 minus 1. And then from there, When you punch this on a calculator, our I effective is equals to 0,099248. But because here we have I effective, we are looking for the R for the interest rate, not for effective interest, but we are looking for effective interest rate. It means that we have to say our R is equals to 0,099248. Remember, R is in percentage. Therefore, we multiply by 100. Therefore, this will be 9,9248%. So this is our R effective. Okay, so I hope we understand what really happened here. Now let's go to 8.2. I'll bring 8.2 here. On 8.2, it says the value of a house increased to 764,050 rand 60 cents over a period of 5 years due to inflation. The price of the house increased at a rate of 5% per annum compounded annually. Calculate the original price of the house. Now it says that the value of the house increased. Immediately when you see the term increase, it means that we are going to add. And it also says due to inflation. Let me use another color. It says due to inflation. It means that every time the term increase goes along with inflation. And it says this is compounded annually. It means that the value of M is going to be 1. But now the increased rate is 5%. So we have R as 5%. Now, over a period of 5 years. So it means that it's going to be T multiplied by M equals to N. So, but we highlight most of the things when we proceed. Now, when we say that the value of the house increased to, it was something, but now is this. It means that this initially there was a price, but after that increase, it now became this. So according to the formula, it means that presently we don't know. Presently, we only know that the house is this, but originally, we don't know how much the house was. So in this case, it means that the value of A is 764,050,60, and initially, this was unknown. I'm just using X, but it does not mean that we are going to calculate the value of X. And then thereafter, we also know that the value of R is given as 5% due to inflation, and the value of M is equals to 1 because they say that this is compounded annually. Now, we still have A equals to P, but because it's compounded, they use the term compounded. And the term inflation. So the term compounded and inflation, they allow you to use this formula, compound interest. So these two terms, we are using this formula. Now from there, it means that we have 764,050,60 equals to the original price of the house, which is P, 1 plus. Now, how much is this? Is 5 over 100, but M, we said it's 1. For how many years? 5 years multiplied by 1. Now, what is the meaning of this? It means that where we see N, we should always remember that N is equals to T multiplied by M, where T is the number of years and where M is the frequency in which the interest is earned per year. Frequency in which R is earned per year. Per year. So now from there, it means that we are calculating for the value of P. It means that our P is going to be 764,050,60 divided by 1 plus 5 over 100 multiplied by 1 to the power of 5 multiplied by 1. So when you press this on a calculator, you will get 598,653,64 and its value of money in rands. That is the value of P. Or alternatively, if you are calculating the value of P, you can simply say P is equals to A 1 plus I to the power of negative N. Now, here it says negative, here it says positive. The reason is P and A have swapped. So, but even that case is going to be 764,050,60 1 plus 5 over 100 multiplied by 1 to the power of 5 multiplied by 1. If you press this on a calculator, you would still get 598,653,64. And that will be the value of P. So what are the original price of the house is this one. Now, we are done with question 8.1 and 8.2. Now let's read 8.3 before we tackle it. Kambeli invested 28,000 into a savings account that pays interest at 7.5% per annum compounded monthly for the first 4 years and 11% per annum compounded quarterly thereafter. At the end of the 4th year, he withdrew 7,300. Calculate his balance at the end of the 7th year of his investment. So if we take note of something, this person invested this money. So it means that this money is going to be in the account for a period of 7 years. But the interest rate of this money was 7.5% per annum compounded monthly for 4 years. But because it's only 7 years, it means that the remaining 3 years, that is why they say an 11% per annum compounded quarterly thereafter. The remaining 3 years, the interest rate changed. At the end of the 7th year, at the end of the 4th year, he withdrew this. So the interest rate changed and also there was a withdrawal. So this means that we are going to work out this as a timeline. Why do we use the timeline? Because there is a withdrawal. And not only the withdrawal, but there is also a change in our rate. So these are the key things that says that we have to use the timeline. Now let's go and calculate his balance at the end of the 7th year. On 8.3, 8.3 talks about Kamvelihle, who invested 28,000 rands for a period of 7 years. So every time when you do a timeline, our initial day of investment, day or year, or any, as long as you understand that you are working with days or years. It's either years or days. The initial year of investment is written as T0. So now if we say T0, T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6, and T7. Why do we start with T0? Because ka ngwaga o motho a dira investment ka yone, re tshwanetse re tsebe gore in that year a se tshofetse a 12-month cycle, and therefore o tlo complete your 12-month cycle in the preceding year. So that from the day that you do your investment until the same date next year, that will not completing a 12-month period. So meaning that from here to there is 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. So even though we wrote T0 until T7, there are 8 T's, but there are 7 cycles. So we are going to start at T0. Everything is at T0. So this person who invested how much? 28,000 rands. This 28,000 rands is going to be in the account for a period of 7 years. The whole 7 years, 28,000 account. So every time mobile change, retro indicate. They said that after 4 years, the interest changed. So around our 4th year, after 4 years, there was a change. That is why I did so. So from here until here, the interest rate was 7.5%. And then from there, we are going to say from here until there, R changed to 11%. But now, this was compounded also. It was compounded monthly, therefore M is equals to 12. And then this also was compounded quarterly. It means that M equals to 4. For how many years has this happened? Our T is going to be 4 years. And this side, our T is equals to 3. So we categorize in this manner so that now when we proceed with the statement, it says that this person made a withdrawal. I'll use a blue one for withdrawal. So a withdrawal question is when you withdraw. When you withdraw, are you increasing or are you decreasing the value of money? If you are increasing, it means that you are going to add. And if you are decreasing, it means that you are going to subtract. So it is not only withdrawal. Sometimes it can be deposit. When you deposit, it means that you are adding, but when you withdraw, you are subtracting. So it means that a deposit will see an increase, and then with a withdrawal will observe a decrease in the value of money. And once we say that is a withdrawal, it means that we are going to subtract. They said that this person withdrew 7,300 at the end of the 4th year. So we are going to the 4th year. 4th year, this person will withdraw at the end of 4th year. Again, so withdraw at that state. So now when we calculate how much money is in the account, now we're going to say that following the given sketch, it means that our A is 28,000. Now we need to represent this, but remember that when we represent this from here to there, it's about 28,000 is in the account. So Rotomaga the red line, then from the red line we continue before withdrawal. So this one will represent the red section, which is 1 plus 7.5 over 100 multiplied by 12 to the power of 4 multiplied by 12. And now because this money is still in the bank for 7 years, how many years are left from 7? We only used 4. Therefore, it means that we're going to add the bracketing at the remaining 3 years. But the remaining 3 years, our interest was no longer 7.5, but it was 11 over 100 multiplied by quarterly. For how many years? 3 years multiplied by quarter. Remember, we said N is the same as T multiplied by M. So every time the number that you use here is the same as the number that you use there. Now, this is the orange and the red section, 28,000. But what happened thereafter? This very person made a withdrawal. Withdrawal ya 7,300. This 7,300 ne rate wa ka bokae? Ne rate wa ka 11% compounded quarterly for a period of 3 years per quarter. Now, from there, it means that the value of A is going to be, when you press this on a calculator, you will get 42,181 rand and 59 cents. So this is the amount of money that this person will get at the end of the 7th year. Okay, which is our 8.3. So it's 8.3. I think 8.3 has got 2 sections. It's 8.3.1. 8.3.1. Now we have 8.3.2. Let's read 8.3.2 together. Then for 5 marks. For 5 marks, they say, assuming that at the end of the 7th year, his balance is 42,181 rand 59 cent, which is the value of money that we got, Kara 8.3.1. Kamvile wants his investment to grow to 80,000 in another 5 years' time. So it means that he's increasing his period of investment to 5 years. How much must he deposit in the account immediately to achieve this goal if the bank offers 8% per annum compounded monthly? Write your answer to the nearest rands. Decimals. Now, let's interpret this correctly and then on 8.3. we are told that this person, he no longer wants this money. It means that he wants his future value to be 80,000. Yena presently, how much does it have? Yena, he has 42181.59. So, but onyoko invest this money so that if it amo kara period ya 5 years, compounded monthly. So now, if that is the case, question is how much must this person invest for a period of 5 years so that he ends up hourly 80,000. So it means that we are going to ignore this. And because we are looking for P, we can simply say P is equals to, we want to know how much must he invest. So it means that what's about the initial amount that he has to put in. So we can say simply P is equals to A into 1 plus I to the power of negative n. Remember I said if you start with P, the n must be negative. But the rate that the bank offers is 8%. Now, our P is given as he wants 80,000 rands, 1 plus 8/100 multiplied by 12 to the power of negative. The period is 5 years multiplied by 12. And therefore, if that is the case, it means that the value of P is going to be 11,515 rands and 25 cents. But because they said rounded to the nearest 100, it means that we will write P as, or they say rounded to the nearest rand. It means we'll have 11,560 because we cannot ignore this rari kenyan 0.25. This percentage because into consideration or this man would less. So because we say to the nearest rand, it means that the final amount that this person must invest, it will be 11,516 rands. Okay, so that is the end of question 8.3.2. So I hope you have learned much about the timeline. So I will also try to post other questions relating to timeline so that you are able to see. Thank you for your time and keep well.